Hey folks, welcome aboard the channel. I'm Dom, this is Rockin' the Country. I'm doing a gift request and it was from Steve Swags and it's Tracy Lawrence's Time Marches On in honor of Steve's father who unexpectedly passed away June 1st. So my condolences, Steve. It's one of those things where you just, when it's unexpected, like with my mother and father, they were older and I had, there was time. But I'm sorry. Anytime I read that, whether I've met somebody in person or not, I just know it hurts. So I'm going to do a reaction to this. You said it was, I think you said it's okay for me to rate the song. So I will. Normally I'm uncomfortable doing that because I'm sentimental like that, but I'm a sap. So what can I say? I mean, I've held on to my masculinity and sappiness somehow in life. Time marches on. That it does. I think it was F. Scott Fitzgerald or Robert Frost who said, in 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. And you're like, wow, there's a lot in those 3 words. Time marches on. I was not expecting it to be up-tempo.
Sister cries out from her baby bed. Brother runs in, feathers on his head. Mama's in her room, learning how to sew. Daddy's drinking beer, listening to the radio. Hank Williams sings Elijah and Dear John. And time marches on.
Oh.
Time marches on.
I mean, it does. The breathing can be hard, though.
Sisters using rouge and clear complexion soap. Brother's wearing beads and he smokes a lot of dope. Mama is depressed, barely makes a sound. Daddy's got a girlfriend in another town. Bob Dylan sings like a rolling stone. And time marches on. Time marches on.
All right, Steve-O, you got me shocked, and I don't mean in a bad way, surprised at the song. I'm smiling hugely because you threw me for a loop, but I know you did say one other thing that I didn't say to other people because I didn't want to reveal that, but at the end I will. But
the south moves north, the north moves south. A star is born, a star burns out. The only thing that stays the same is everything changes, everything changes. Sister calls herself a sexy grandma. Brother's on a diet for high cholesterol. Mama's out of touch with reality. Daddy's in the ground beneath the maple tree as the angels sing an old Hank Williams song.
yeah,
Time marches on. 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 Time marches on.
you're such a good performer. I know what the line was, and could see why it would hit you. When Steve sent the request for the song, he had said that the last line in the song hit him. And I didn't know the song, so I didn't know what the line was going to be. But I was looking out for it, of course, and it was Daddy's in the ground under the maple tree. I think that was the line. And yeah, I mean, whether that's where your father's buried or not, it doesn't matter. It's you get the point. We all get the point in the song that somebody's passed. You know, Steve, it just seems to me like it hits me when somebody makes a request like this in honor of their parent, because some parents don't really want to be, or aren't good at being parents. They're not even necessarily mean, but they're disengaged. Whatever it is, parenthood did not work for them. Maybe some people like the idea of being parents more than actually being parents, and the responsibility, the joys that go along with that. It's easier just for some folks, some parents, just to stay distant. And I had a friend of mine. He was a sergeant in the New Jersey State Police Department. His name was Paul. And Paul was like he was a good dude, tough guy, but very tender-hearted guy. But, you know, he was one of like, I think 4 brothers type of deal. And then, of course, he had 3 daughters. And when his father passed, he was absolutely destroyed by it. I remember seeing him, you know, maybe a week after his father had passed even. And he was just like, he couldn't talk. He was like, I can't believe how much this hurts. You think you're prepared for it on some level. You think about it. You know your parents are going to go at some point. But it's just, if your parent had your back and you knew they loved you, no parent is perfect. There are going to be moments you remember where they were horrible. They said something. Maybe they were tired. You can look back, whatever the deal was. But when you know they were trying, that makes all the difference in the world. So when I see a request in honor of a parent, I've already got the subtext, the narrative playing out in my mind that your relationship worked because you knew your in this case, Steve, that your father cared. And the fact that it was sudden, I mean, I've often wondered whether it's better for somebody to go suddenly or not, because you don't get to share final thoughts that you might share if you have more time. In my mother's case, I took care of her in her home, and it was for more than a year and a half that she was bedridden that I was taking care of her. And that's a long period of time for somebody to be laid up in bed and deteriorating, cancer in her case, versus a sudden departure. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. Both circumstances are difficult, but when they're young, by today's standards, it's rough. So I like this song, though, the way Tracy sang it. I mean, the fact that it was up-tempo, and not merely up-tempo, it was like upbeat. The music, even though there were things that were like going wrong, brother smoking dope, daddy's got a woman in another town, and whatever the other details are in the song, you know, may not represent the best of mankind or personhood or whatever you call it, that it's still, this is the human race. This is us. This is what we do. This is our family. These are our friends. This is just what human beings do. It's part of it. And time marches on. Stars in the heavens start, another burns out. That's, you know, the way we categorize people in the entertainment industry. You know, somebody new bursts on the scene, but somebody's career is over. So it's just true. It had a Caribbean feel to it almost for me. Not that far from Jimmy Buffett. All you needed was those kettle thingies and you're off and running. All right, the number that popped into my head on this was a 9.3. Because even though it was up-tempo and upbeat and all, there was a poignancy to it. The way in which Tracy sang it and the things that the lyrics that the songwriter put in there, bringing Bob Dylan into it and Sister putting on rouge. You know, I mean, there's research, so to speak, that was put into this song because you don't come up with all those things on your own. So the songwriter probably had help. So, Steve, again, my condolences, my friend, and I'll just leave it at that. All right, folks. Leave your comments for Steve and whatever else, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, people.